final look. I guess we'll do like one of those little beauty moments, right? Like, Wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about that lip. I never use that second color that I grabbed, and I was like, maybe this will be a way to use it. And I think this is the only way I can use it, to be for real, to be honest. Just cleaning some makeup brushes before I go. I always try to clean my makeup brushes before I leave. Keeps life from getting overwhelming. I also, for the most part, like I did this whole look with 3 brushes. So I'll give them a minute to soak while I do something else in a little bit of Dawn, and just nothing fancy. Dollar store cream hand soap. And that really does the trick. And then I have my little scrub mat, and I put a little more Dawn on that. And if you do it this way, you never wind up with a million makeup brushes, unless you do use a million makeup brushes every time you do your makeup. I would encourage you, if that's the case, to figure out a way to not do that. It's one thing, you know, if you're doing special occasion makeup, I suppose, or especially SFX makeup. I have a feeling you're not doing that though. Odds are. And if that's the case, you should really not need to use more than 5 makeup brushes. So I have literally 37 minutes before I would need to leave for work. I wonder, maybe, if I really get going and I get out a little bit early from here, I could stop by the store, because I forgot, and I should have done this yesterday, but I forgot that I wanted to get some snacks and some little treats for the attendees of the event tomorrow, and also like the models and us. So maybe I'll do that after work. I don't know. I do not know. See, this was a poor planning thing. I forgot yesterday, and now I'm a little crunched for time to get these snacks, but that's just like the hospitality I wanted to offer. So, but it's all gonna be fine. Actually, you know what? I might have Tiffany do it today. I'll just send her some money, and that way she'll get to have a say. Okay, that's what, see? You don't need to do everything yourself. You can ask for help. I'm telling you, but I'm also reminding me. And you can outsource. Tiffany will definitely be able to do that. We can talk about what we want to get, and then I will just sell her some money or whatever, Cash App, and she can just go and get the stuff, so I don't have to stress about it. See, you gotta use your little noodle. Wow, I really need to clean this mirror. You guys deserve better, and so do I. But this is just my little casual, chic, movable outfit for today, because I'm gonna be carrying tables and chairs and running around. Oh, I got a little lanyard with a lipstick on it. I put my walkie-talkie thing on it. So yes, this is how we're keeping limber. No sleeves in the event that I get way too hot, but I do have a little, I don't know. Like, what do you call something like this? It's not a jacket. It's not like a cardigan. But, you know, if I don't feel like being naked or whatever, have my arms out and about, I get cold, this is nice. And it's not way too much black, of just panels of black, because the back train area is sheer. Okay, it is 11:05. I'm gonna pee one more time, finish my coffee, get my jacket and shoes on, and get the honk out of here. Okay, we're on our way, and I'm 8 minutes ahead of schedule even, because I work like 15 minutes away. But on the regular, I aim to leave a half an hour before I'm supposed to clock in at work. Now, sometimes because I get sidetracked or I've underestimated something, I end up leaving 20 minutes before I have to leave for work. But I have a routine and I have a way of doing things that I still always, even if I'm running behind, I kind of have certain checkpoints where I know what stage I need to be at by what time to still be on time for work. So it's okay if I leave 20 minutes before. I've still always been on time. And if for whatever reason, God did not look upon my day favorably in that way, even if I rolled into work right on time and didn't clock in on time technically, or I was, up to 9 minutes late, I got 9 minutes before I'm even considered late. I almost never have to use that grace time, but if I did, it would be fine. Like, my attendance is phenomenal. The only time that my attendance takes any kind of a hit is on the rare occasion that I purposefully call off. And I call off maybe 2 or 3 times a year. It used to be never. Like, I was one of those kids and students that literally never missed a day of school somehow by the grace of God, and was also never late. That was something that through fear and really just fear that my dad instilled in me. I mean, maybe he helped me develop that kind of time and work ethic. But oh my God, what a great way to promote my mug. Now, the way that they have this designed, like, I'd have to be drinking it with my left hand on the handle for you to see the Mac logo, because it's only on one side, which is, like, dumb to me. I guess it's mysterious, right? Like, you can choose to reveal it or not. But yeah, I'd say it was mostly through fear and a trauma response that worked out really well for me, because I'm so good at time management. Like, I am a master of my own time, for real. And that's because if I was late and my dad was picking me up or something, he'd either be pissed or he would leave. Like, that man would leave me. So either way, it was horribly high stakes if I was late, because he was either going to yell at me, and that was terrifying, or he would leave me. Like, there was an actual consequence. And that's how I became the legend I am today. Trauma teaches you to be vigilant, and again, I think it's up to you what you do with it and how you internalize it. I know that there are instances where that is really difficult and can be so dark, because if we're talking about trauma like violence and war and sexual trauma and stuff like that, or trauma from like something that you truly couldn't control, like a car accident, I understand. That is a really hard thing. But if you do have some type of trauma like that, it really is worth looking at some point, when you get to a point that you can, and you do kind of have to do little bits of exposure therapy to kind of press on that psychological sunburn and see how stingy it still is. Like, is this still actively a wound? Is it like a 3rd-degree burn? Or is it just a little pink? Has enough time passed, has enough healing passed that you could touch it? It's just sensitive. This might be some good time for some aloe, like something that can help you. But if you just avoid that patch of skin forever and then you neglect it, like you never put lotion on it again because you fear that it's going to hurt when you touch it, now you've created another problem on top of that memory. Because really at this point, it's just a memory. There's nothing actually wrong with you, unless it was so bad that we're really getting deep into this metaphor. But I'm just going to keep going with it because I'm just talking and driving. Unless it was so bad that you actually burnt, ruined, charred the flesh. Like you had a 3rd-degree burn and that skin is absolutely ruined, and really all you can do at that point is to cut it off to save the rest of the area and try to grow new and start all over. Hopefully that's not the case with your trauma. I'd like to think that most of the time, the things that we go through are not that catastrophic, but sometimes they are. Now, if we're talking about the instances where most likely it's not that catastrophic, you can't live in fear actively forever of whatever has happened to you, because then you will neglect that area of you. And if you neglect it, maybe you'll get an infection there because you're not cleaning it properly because you're afraid to touch it. Maybe that skin will become so dry and brittle and broken. And because it's so broken and fractured from the lack of maintenance and the sheer neglect, that skin becomes so vulnerable to, again, infection. It's just weaker. Like, if something else does bump up against it, it's going to have a much harder time healing as opposed to if you took care of the skin. Daily moisturizing, psychologically and physically, like very literally, is so important, okay? I guess I'm speaking in skin metaphors because I am an esthetician and I am in the beauty field and I see a lot of uncared for skin, okay? So it's in my subconscious always. But that's how I look at it. So when it comes to this time management thing, like, was it traumatic that I learned at an early age that if I wasn't prepared, if I didn't have time management, that there were consequences? Like legitimate, real consequences. Not just like, Danielle, I wish you would do better. No, Danielle's about to get left. Where is she gonna get left? Don't know. Depends. Or she's just gonna be more traumatized by being like yelled at. But it was a good lesson to learn. And I will say that there was a long period of time, like especially when I was in school or when I was in my early 20s, that I would like have a meltdown if I thought I was going to be late because of that trauma. Because I was so afraid to press on that wound to see what would happen. Like, what would happen if I was late? I was never willing to find out. But there have been times where I will purposefully allow myself to not have that ever-present, rigid hypervigilance. Like, what would happen if I was just 5 minutes late? What would happen if I didn't make sure that I got out the door right at this time? And I'm trying to think if anything super bad ever happened, and I really don't think it has. Like, nothing comes to mind. Nothing ever happened. And I would do that every so often. I would press on that area of the memory of the sunburn. And the skin was healthy. Like, everything was fine. It doesn't bother me. Like, I don't want to be late. But if I am, pretty sure it's not the end of the world. Pretty sure it's going to be fine. And if it's not, why? Like, why? What is the big deal? Did it actually mess me up? Probably not, because I'm probably prepared in every other capacity, so far as I could see. If it is a big deal, it's probably to somebody else. Which I'm not saying that isn't important, that we shouldn't consider how we affect other people. But, like, why was it the end of the world for them? Was it actually the end of the world? And if it was, then I guess you just deal with that when it comes. If it really was a big mess up, you can say you're sorry. If you are sorry. Okay, well, I'm pulling into the parking lot area now. It's funny because it's like been so long. It's kind of, it seems like an eternity ago, but it also just seems like just yesterday that I was at work. Like, it's weird to go back to my job, but also it's so autopilot that it's like I never left. My first order of business when I get in is going to the computers and printing off all the stuff that I sent to myself and that Tiffany sent to me, so I don't have to make a trip back because I'll already be over there. Oh, a parking spot right in front. Oh, and I'm parking next to my friend Mariah. Splendid. Yeah, so I'm gonna go print that stuff off. I'm gonna have to find, oh my god, I'm so early that I literally couldn't even clock in yet. That's okay. Oh my god, but I have to pee like so badly. It's funny because it really is just like I forgot everything that I'm doing here today. This is our disaster of a back storage area. I just want to make sure that the little gift bags are done, which they are. Here's all the bags. Cute. Cute. Don't know how we're deciding to give what to what. I need one of these. This was actually partially on my mission. And I'm glad that I came back here because, ooh, what do we got in here? Photo Iconic Folio, Cool Teddy. Okay, I need this stuff. And I do need to set up this displayer for the nude lip collection. I just can't keep it up there today, but I still need to put it together. So I'm gonna bring this back first. And I'm gonna find more of these holders for the stuff going on the tables. I'm cleaning all the mirrors with alcohol because I love you guys. Our clients get freshly shined mirrors, not dusty ones with fingerprints. Voila. Hey, bitches and princesses. I just got home from an amazing, dare I say it, day at work. So I just got home and I set up for the event. It was so much better this time. Like, it was so easy. It was like butter on a hot pan and it looks really good. And now I'm home about to make some dinner. I literally only ate half of my overnight oats while I was at work because I was just like busy, you know? And I just just didn't have time for food. I was busy being slim, booked, and busy and getting praise from everybody. So I'm excited for tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. And I got some good news. Are you ready to hear my good news? So me and Tiffany have been talking a lot about doing offsite events and what our dreams are and like what our vision is for the counter and being number one and just how this can make our dreams come true. Well, Tiffany gave me a little heads up because while I was gone, another manager told her that Lynette was talking about getting us these offsite events, like that she had an event for us to do. And that was super cool, but I hadn't heard anything about it. We didn't know when she was gonna tell us about it. And then Lynette ends up calling me after she left work, and I wasn't sure if it was a mistake or what, but when I noticed it, I called her back, and that's what she wanted to talk about. She wanted to talk about how amazing we are and how good we are at the events and how we're such a good team. And she literally has immediately 3 events off-site for us to do. Now, the one is a Goodwill event because it's for kids, but them kids got mommies, and those mommies are already trying to come to our events. And the other one is for like a prom thing, and then the other one is for Southwest Hospital, where I already actually did a bunch of the nurses' makeup for a mall fashion show, and I was on stage doing little demos that I created in front of this audience, and it went well. And like somehow I was just not really that nervous about it, which was surprising. So it's gonna be those people again, and there's 60 people for that. There's 150 of the little girls for that event, and then I don't know how many for prom, but it's like the one for Southwest is February 16th. Like, we have so many events. I am such a power manifester, and like now that I'm having fun and I'm happy and I'm stimulated and I have Tiffany, I'm not afraid of the dream anymore. Like, I wanted it, but I was still afraid of it because I was like, I don't want to do this by myself, but now I have her and she's like living in the dream with me, and we're both excited and looking forward to it, and we just can't even believe that it's already happening because we were just talking about this. And now Lynette is like, so we have 3 offsite events for you, and that's just the beginning because you guys are amazing. And I'm like I know, but like, thank you. So I just wanted to tell you that. And now I'm cooking dinner. I have my salad that I didn't eat today. Doesn't that look good? So I'm gonna eat that, but I'm also cooking a little bit of ground meat, and I'm just gonna put some pasta sauce on it and like make a little sloppy Joe meatball sub sandwich. I don't know. And I guess this is good night because I started cooking, got my food done, and just kind of Irish goodbyed y'all. So sorry, I left you for a sandwich. Pretty typical.